Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 76 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
And I'm Weston Pugh, and we've got a great show in store for you. And one of the things that Jeff and I have taken into consideration is the importance of social distancing. And so because of the amazing facility they have at On Air Media, they have been able to work with us on that.
Yep, they sure have. They've taken a lot of precautions, and through the magic of technology, it looks like we're standing next to each other, but we're actually 73 feet apart.
We are. So it's a great day.
More like 8.
Well, anyway, we've got a great show installed today. One of the things that we have noticed is that a lot of people have been asking us, what is the market doing? And I think it's a really important question given the scenario that's playing out right now.
Yeah, the financial world being in unrest like this can mean for some really good opportunities in real estate. The Fed just lowered their bank rate, the rate that banks charge each other overnight for money,
correct,
to zero to 0.25, which is basically zero. And a lot of people heard that and they read, "Oh my gosh, mortgage rates are going to be zero," and that's really not how that looks. So
no,
there was I've got a really good piece that is just a few paragraphs that will kind of help you understand how mortgage rates tie together with that Fed rate. If you'd like information on that, just drop us a line in the feed down below and I'll be happy to send you that article. But there's a lot of really cool, over the last 3 days, there have been 977 homes come on the market. So inventory is still growing. And I think when you put together all the under contract statuses, and we've got active option, active contingent, pending, all the kickouts. There were 2,508 homes that are in those pending statuses in the last 3 days.
Yep, that have had that changed over that. And also the solds, we had 971 sales that just took place in the last 3 days. And so this is the spring market, and we have seen that people still have needs, whether they're being relocated or that it's just time to upgrade a larger home. These things are still happening, which are live instances. And so we see this is still a healthy market that we're entering into.
It is. And, we're one of the things that we're doing right now is we're just kind of changing how we have to do business. And so last weekend we did our first virtual open house, where it was a physical open house for anybody that wanted to come by, but there was no one that came to it, but we did the watch party from it, and we did a tour of the house, and we had over 100 people 400 people that engaged in that with us and got to see that really cool house.
It was actually one of our best open houses that we've ever seen, if you count that we had 400 people that kind of came through it virtually.
Yeah.
And we decided that we're going to do that again this Sunday. We're going to do that from 2 to 3 this Sunday, and it's going to be at 4320 Valley Ridge Road, which is an amazing home. You do not want to miss that one. It is a 5-bedroom, 5 full bath, 3 half bath, and I believe it's a 3-car garage. You don't want to miss that.
Right.
House.
It's the house itself is located right off of Midway and Northwest Highway, and this is not going to be a physical open house. This is just going to be a virtual open house. So tune in with us. We'll have it on Facebook Live, and then if you want, we'll figure out how to get it over into our YouTube set as well.
Absolutely. And one of the things that we've also seen, I think everybody's seen this right now, how there's so many different memes, and everybody's talking about, how am I going to do this, stay at home for so long.
Self-quarantine for 2 weeks.
And so we put together, and the links will be in the the comments below, but some of the things that we thought were really interesting and could be used for different purposes. The first one that we saw was that NASA actually has opened their entire library, and it is available. That link would be a great one to use if you were doing homeschooling, if you have a young budding astronomer on your hands. This would be really something fun for them to also look at.
Absolutely. And, getting out between the storms, we're going to have storms for the next few days, but it's not raining the whole time. When we, on the way over here today, it was absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
So get out, get the pets out, get the family out, do a lot of walking, just get out and be in nature, because that is a great way to spend this time that you have to do it.
And then one of our past guests, Leslie Halleck, actually put together a really great video, and we've got that link also in the comments below. And she talks about where to order the best indoor plants. And it's funny that this is going to be the link, because visiting with my sister last night, she was talking about they were actually going to buy plants because she's got 3 girls coming over, and they're going to do some planting together for the little ones. And so this will be, you should check this out.
Yeah, one of the last things is Massini Bortoro is offering free Italian cooking classes online. And this guy is a master chef. He owns a restaurant called Gucci Ostera, and it is a very, very well-known Italian restaurant. It's probably an opportunity to get training of this level that you would probably never see otherwise.
And this, if you're familiar with Massimo, he actually was on the Chef Table, I think it was in season 1 on Netflix. That was one of my all-time favorites. So when I saw that come across, I was like, things to do. This will be definitely one of them.
Yeah, and our second segment today, I'm really excited about, because a really longtime buddy of mine is coming on the show, Chris Weigel, who's going to talk about creating a healthy house. And whatever period of time that this is all going to be going on, now is a really good time to be looking at that and making changes in your life to help create that healthy home.
This is the better version of spring cleaning that you need to pay attention to. Great tips on there. Can't wait to hear what he has to say. But one of the things that we're going to talk about as far as homes, we looked in East Dallas, and we kind of wanted to do stair stepping. We didn't want to see everything at one price, or just condos or townhomes this time. And so we've done a really good job. We're going to go from, I think, 2 to right under 800,000 on these homes. And the first one we're going to look at is 10253 San Juan Avenue. And this is a great area of East Dallas. One of the great, just all around great neighborhoods.
Absolutely, and it is an up and coming neighborhood. We've shown I don't know how many houses in this neighborhood lately, because we have several buyers that are not only looking in this price range, but geographically they have family members that they want to live near. And this house is right off Gus Thomason and Ferguson Avenue, very, very close to Casa View. You can get great access over to White Rock Lake. And, once you hit the White Rock Lake Trail, the trail system that we have here in Dallas can take you to so many different places. And, the next few days might be a great way to try to get out and explore some of that. You have really good access into downtown, and if you're just a couple of miles away from 635, and so if you are one of those people that travels for a living, needs to get to the airport, those express lanes that you can get on LBJ right now are absolutely amazing when it comes to saving time in a trip.
Yep, and we're seeing a lot more homes coming on the market that fit a lot of the buyers' needs that we're having right now, whether they're first time or downsizing. And as we're in a lot of these neighborhoods, you can see that other people have found and the mystique of these neighborhoods. And so this is a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath with a 2-car garage that's detached. It's 1324 square feet, and they've done a lot to get this house ready for the market.
This is a really cool home. It's got great curb appeal, great walk-up appeal. The porch is big enough that you can have some plants out there, really make it have a sense of arrival when you get to the front door.
And the way that it flows, it's open, light, and airy. It's not one of those houses where you might feel like you don't have enough furniture. This is an easy one to furnish and really be able to enjoy. One of the things that we noticed when we showed this to some of our clients was that it was light, bright. It had the right colors on the wall and on the ceiling, and it has brand new windows.
Yeah, and this one has the kitchen that's already been opened up into the dining room and to the living room. So you haven't lost all that cabinet space that you get by having that corner area, but you also don't feel like you're kind of stuck in the box. This is the living room that has this really unique really unique light fixture that hangs down over the table and just gives it a little bit of funk as you get in the house.
And in November of 2019, it was noted in the seller's disclosure that Permapeer gave this a good bill of health on the foundation, and that's a great thing. And then as you look here, you can see that the kitchen is open to the living room and to the dining room, and has enough space that you could be in there with someone else cooking, or you have just enough counter space for yourself.
Yeah, and lots of storage. A lot of these homes, that's one of the challenges with them, but this one's really got tremendous storage. Really good sized bedroom. This is one of the guest rooms, which, as you can see, is big enough for 2 twin beds and a desk.
And then throughout the house, they've reclaimed the original hardwood floors, and they look amazing. The other thing, too, last week we talked about the mini split HVAC system, and this is actually the house that actually had that. And it's done a really great job of allowing you to heat and cool the rooms that you're in as you need them.
Yeah, and this house really continues on out to the backyard with just being a really great palette to begin with. Big backyard. They've got a deck that's attached to the garage out there, so you've already got a big, nice 8-foot fence around the backyard. It's really just ready for you to do the last little bit. They also just installed the sprinkler system in this.
Yep, they did. And the electric bills in August, it looks like, came in at $182, which is a great and affordable. So again, this is 10253 San Juan Avenue, 3-bedroom, 1.5-bath, 2-car garage, built in 1954, and is priced at $251,900, which is just under $200 a square foot. And we want to say thank you so much to Cynthia Payne-Drennan for allowing us to highlight our home. It's
Yes,
beautiful.
thank you, Cynthia. That was a great home.
Oh, yeah. What we got next?
Their next house is a little neighborhood that is right off of Greenville Avenue and Mockingbird Lane, and this is 5807 Ravendale.
Yep.
Now, this is one of the most convenient neighborhoods in the East Dallas market because you are really right off of where Mockingbird crosses over 75, and then which gives you great access into downtown. If you want to head east or west, you can pop up to Lover's Lane or go down to Northwest Highway or go on up to Northwest Highway, and you can get virtually, I mean, Dallas is one of those cities that has streets like this that run literally from one side of the city to the other.
Yep. And this is one of those really amazing pocket little neighborhoods because it is geographically locked into itself. So it's not like there's going to be something else massive developed in and around that area. One of those really walkable neighborhoods. We sold a good friend of yours home over there years and years ago, and just really fell in love with it immediately. And like you said, it's so close to so many different things, whether it's Central Market or whether it's Primary Care just down the road. It's great.
Yeah, and really nice walk up, great setback on this lot. The house sits back and gives you that real sense of having a front yard. I can see getting out there in the evening and pulled a couple of chairs out and having the neighbors meet you.
And this is one of those houses that is really clean. Again, we're seeing a house that they've paid a lot of attention to the foundation, and it got a good bill of health in 2015, and that it is a really light and bright. They've done a great job with the can lights that they've strategically placed throughout the home just to maximize spots that might need it. The windows are also new. Plantation shutters are in place, so it's just created this really warm, open floor plan that many buyers want today.
Yeah, and in the living room, the gas fireplace, I think, really adds a nice little touch to the house. The kitchen has tile countertops, the gas appliances, stainless steel appliance package, and it is kind of a galley kitchen, but it wraps around in an L shape where you get a little bit of extra area as a second dining area, and just the doors you see to the right there open up to a really good-sized utility room.
So bedrooms 2 and 3 are actually in the front of the house, and this is the one that is closest to the front. And as you can see through the hallway down there, that just kind of gives you a clear view that you're looking to the dining room, to the kitchen. And this is the master. Again, we're looking at a really good-sized master. And again, I'm going to point this out because I love them. Recessed can lights, put in a master, make it great for just the right amount of light, even though we know you're going to have lamps. The bathroom has also been done and is right there, as you can see, off of the master. And that window that you're looking at actually looks into the backyard as well. So again, we're looking at something that's super easy and put together well and doesn't really need, I I really don't think it needs anything going
No,
into that
you
house.
can move right into this house and just bring your toothbrush with you, including the outdoors. The outdoor space on this has some really great little locations. Now, this is kind of a bricked-in area where they have an outdoor fireplace that's built in. But if you look at the backyard overall, you have room for a pool. There is a separate deck area. Here's a picture of the deck that comes right off of the house, and then it also comes out the master bedroom door that you see directly in the middle there. And it's just just really organized well, and again, you just kind of walk in and live.
It is a great house. And again, this is, wrong address. This is actually going to be 5807 Ravendale Lane, and that is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, and it's 1,340 square feet, priced at $410. And we'd like to say thank you so much to Carrie Hill for allowing us to feature her home.
Thank you, Carrie. That was a great home.
So this is a great house.
This was the showstopper of the week, I think.
Yeah, this is actually the house that, if you want to talk about the houses of how I decide what we're going to look at, this is the one that triggered, and I was like, okay, now we're working on this one. This is my jump off point.
So this is 10465 Sinclair. That's in 75218. This is a really cool 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 2-car garage, a little under 3,000 square feet, and it's priced at $719. And this home has been done so well in terms of opening it up and giving you that really open lifestyle. I just can't think of anything else I've seen like it lately.
Nope, and location-wise, this is closer to the lake, what we're going to consider Lake Highlands. Great access to the White Rock Lake. If we're talking about getting in and around, this is excellent as well, because you've got Northwest Highway there that's going to really help you get up and down. One of the things that was really specific to this house in this neighborhood was that it doesn't have any neighbors in front of you, which was really peaceful. We like the fact that there was like a small creek that was there that just these are items that are not going to change. It's not something that you can add. It is specific, unique to the house, and adds value that no roof, no high-end appliances could do.
Yeah, or no fence.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Really a great home, great drive up, circle drive, a lot of landscaping that's been taken care of. This house is really well done from start to finish. When you walk up to it, you know instantly this house is going to be well done inside.
And one of the things that this house takes advantage of is that it is a 1-story ranch, and they were able to thoughtfully think about how to open this out so that they could create a designated dining area and a kitchen that actually works with it. And it's not something that would be so modern that it would turn off people. It's got just the right elements, and so we're just going to call it contemporary in that fact. Light and bright, and again, we're talking about recessed cans throughout the house, but not so many that it looks like Swiss cheese in your ceiling. And they've really done strong elements that bring your eye to it. Here we have a stone fireplace that is amazing.
Yeah, and the separate areas in this do not feel cramped at all. You've got plenty of room in the kitchen. One of the things we see is there's sometimes not enough distance between the back countertop and the island, and this one there's really a great amount. All of that opens up into a dining room that you have the flexibility. You could put a 10-person table here and not have it feel cramped at all, and then still have the living room that faces the stacked stone fireplace and gas logs in it. And they have the fire glass in the bottom of it, which really gives it a very contemporary modern feel.
And then this is the other room that it opens into. And again, we have this light, bright, almost blank canvas, which is amazing. And I say canvas as kind of a pun because it is an artist and you can't quite see, but she's got a little studio behind us where we're standing right now. And one of the amazing things about this is the way that they filled the backside of this with glass. And what is even better than this is that it looks over the pool. So we've got tons of area, whether you're having crafts, whether you're entertaining and you want to do game night, or just have a place to come in and grab something to eat, set up a buffet for friends that are coming over for the pool. It is everything that you're going to need to have a very entertaining, friendly home.
Yes, and these are four really good-sized bedrooms that this has got a king-size bed in it, has the cabinetry that's built into the wall there, a bay window. This is the bedroom that's on the front of the house that also could make a really great office if somebody needed that. It does open to a powder room or a full bathroom actually, that has been redone with the quartz countertops, nicely done shower. And then you have this bedroom, which is on the back of the home.
Yep, and this is the master, and one of the great things about the master is that it actually takes into consideration the use of the backyard. So whether you're going out for a late night swim or a swim first thing in the morning, you can do that. And then off of the master is this really well renovated master bathroom, and we were able to talk to the homeowners, and Jeff asked, how much do you like having the tub in the wet area of the shower? And they said that they absolutely loved it and that they would never make a bathroom again without that scenario.
And then you've got this outdoor space with this beautiful pool, lots of deck space around, just very, very inviting. And as we head into the summer, we all know how, if you've ever had a pool in Texas, you're probably never not going to have one again.
True that.
Or you're always going to have friends that have a pool.
Even better.
Yeah, exactly. So 10465 Sinclair Avenue, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, a little under 3,000 square feet. This home is a remarkable price at $719,000, which brings it in about $243 a square foot.
And we want to say thank you so much to Trina Rothwell for allowing us to feature this amazing home that actually sparked this entire segment for today.
Yep. And that was I think, a good tour of East Dallas.
Yeah, really great stair stepping through the property and through the area. So.
And we'll be right back.
There are lots of ways to keep up with us. Visit and like our Facebook page to watch us live and get updates about future show topics. Also, visit our Instagram account where you can see the latest homes we have for sale. You can also check out our website at updikepugh.com, where you can create customized searches of active and sold homes that you may find of interest. If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, visit homeprice.fyi and you can get a price instantly. Just enter your address and a couple of other pieces of information and we will email you a price. If you are on the go and podcasts are better for you, our second segments are available on iTunes and Spotify. Last of all, you can reach out to us by phone or text at 214-377-2223.
And welcome back, everybody. Today, we have the opportunity to talk to a really great friend of mine. Chris Weigel is with us today, and Chris has been a friend of mine. I think we've been friends for almost 20 years.
About 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years. And Chris is my personal trainer, but I really think of him, more as a great friend and certainly a great psychiatrist, unlicensed psychiatrist.
Thank you.
But today we're going to talk about creating a healthy home. And so, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Glad you're here. So tell us about you're one of those people to me that you not only talk the talk, but you walk the walk. And, even when we were talking about an air purifier the other day, you were like, oh yeah, I've got the brand you need to buy. It's that one I've got right over there. So, I mean, that part of our relationship I really find refreshing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Tell us about how do you create a healthy home environment?
I'll do that. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how they're typically not healthy. Unfortunately, that first segment was so positive, and here I come doom and gloom and tell you all how, we're now self-quarantined and we're breathing in a whole lot of toxic junk, and unfortunately, it's making us sicker and just not well on a daily basis. Even though we don't see it, but we're inundated with chemicals in the air, chemicals in the water. More so now than ever. And we can do a lot to take that out of our air, take that out of our water, and so we'll talk a little bit about that today. But there's mold, dust mites, VOCs, mildew, stuff coming out of your furniture. And so you can really have quite a toxic house and not know it.
What can we do to limit that exposure?
So there's 4 key areas. And before I go into that, I want to say that, we think of the outdoor air as being quite polluted. And studies have shown that our indoor air is 2 to 5 times more polluted than the outdoor air.
Wow.
And one of the big players in that is off-gassing from furniture. So you've got furniture that's made with foam material that emits dust. You've got things like cleaners and your air fresheners. putting junk in the air that we breathe and irritate our lungs, irritate our organs, and we wind up with everything from allergies and bone loss. There's numerous health ailments because of that.
So when somebody brings like say I go out and I buy a new couch and the new couch comes in, I smell that, that new couch smell for a little while, but then it goes away. So does that continue to emit those toxins over the life
your
of it?
Your drapes, your carpets, electronics. There's a lot. Yeah, it'll continue to emit. So what we've got to do is filter our air. And so a few recommendations. A HEPA filter for your HVAC system. Upgrade your furnace filters. I highly recommend also a standalone air filter unit, such
That's
as
kind of what we were talking about.
Yep, the Austin air filter. I think we'll display it here in a moment. Is my favorite. It filters out 99.97% of everything.
Wow.
Dust mites, mold, allergens, and believe it or not, the coronavirus. I called them this past week and specifically asked them. So, I highly recommend it, and it might just become even more important due to what's going on today.
No kidding.
So those two, for sure. Run that purifier, by the way, 24/7. Avoid household chemicals, as much as you can. And there's so many different things that you can use to clean and degrease and you name it, other than these chemicals that are harmful to our health. So using hydrogen peroxide and vinegar and just soap, you can Google it. There's so many different solutions in which we can make that aren't toxic or harmful to us, whether that be inhaled or on our skin.
Well, that kind of leads to, naturally, I think it leads to water contamination.
Water contamination is probably our second biggest, absolutely. And so we've got runoff from farms in our drinking water. And it doesn't matter if it's community water or if it's well systems. You've got pipes that are emitting arsenic and lead and mercury and other heavy metals that contribute to things like cancer. And cancer right now, if you're a female, 1 out of 2 females get cancer, 1 out of 3 males, and that statistic's only rising. So, here's an area that's contributing toward that we can do something about.
How do we do that?
Again, filtration. Okay, so I recommend a whole house filtration. This one here is from Aquasana. You get that water right as it comes to the house, and so it's able to filter out that which you drink. It's able to filter out water that you would use, say, to clean vegetables or to cook with, and it filters the shower water. We actually are exposed to more chemicals while taking a shower as chemicals go airborne or inhaled versus drinking water. So that's one option. That takes a little more money and it's a little more work to get that installed. So you can also go with a reverse osmosis water system. And those can either be under the sink or on top of the sink. They're very effective at getting out most of what is undesirable. And going back to that undesirable, there's also fluoride. We put it in our water. Unfortunately, it's a neurotoxin to the body. It's very good if you're applying it to your teeth to prevent cavities. But unfortunately, we're not following up with 97% of Western Europe who agrees that it's a toxin and doesn't put it in their water. So hopefully someday. Meanwhile, get a fluoride filter. Reverse osmosis will filter that out. The other would be pharmaceutical drugs. I didn't talk about that either. Yeah. But we're taking a lot of drugs these days. The average American's on over 3 prescription drugs. And some of that winds up in our urine, in the toilet. It's not able to be filtered by the water municipalities and hence in our drinking water. And is there much of it? No. But do you want any of that?
Any of it, yeah.
Do you want any birth control in your system? Do you want any of these drugs that are for this disorder or that in your system?
I think a lot of people, especially I think a lot of people sometimes when they're going through that clean out process of the house and they find all the older drugs, they just start flushing
Dump it down the toilet.
And thinking that's gonna, that'll get rid of it, and that's very dangerous.
It's very dangerous, and we can't say we we'll never be able to say, oh, you drank this water that had this drug in it to this minute degree and it thus caused this. Just like with cancer, there's so many things that cause cancer that we can't pinpoint. Well, it was definitely because you used this oven degreaser the other day.
Yeah.
So, but if we take a look at like homeopathy, we understand that it is very small part per million that has an effect on the body. That's how homeopathy works. It works to kind of go under radar. Your body doesn't recognize it, okay? Sort of like what can happen with these pharmaceuticals and other things in the water is your immune system doesn't have enough of that substance to react to it and fight it. And so it gets in there and does who knows what. So back to the reverse osmosis. All right, the other option would be a Berkey water filter that you can get on Amazon. They've got different sizes. You pour the water in, you can get it, I think, up to 3 gallons, something like that. They've got different sizes. Make sure you get the carbon filter. There's some different filter options with it. Then you've got a little spigot, and fill up your water bottles. And that's about a $300 option, depending on which model you go with. That's a real good idea. They also make them for camping, so they're very portable. Or if you're renting, you're not going to be there forever. I guess same with the house. If you don't want to put the investment into the house and leaving it perhaps for the next owner, buy the one to put on the counter.
Yeah.
And then lastly, if you do go with what you might put under the sink or above the sink, you still want to filter that shower water. So get a separate shower filter. Those are pretty common too. Again, all of this you can Google and take a look at what you think suits you best. Certainly some are better than others. So do your research or contact me and I'll be happy to give you my recommendations.
What does, we've talked about kind of everything inside the house. What about outside the house?
Outside of the house can be extremely toxic as well. I mean, on our own property. And that's due to the lawn care that we use, the different pesticides, fungicides, herbicides, rodenticides. I mean, we use 98 million pounds of herbicides as Americans a year. 78 million households use pesticides for their lawns and gardens. And they use them in an amount that's 10 times what a farmer would use per acre. So it's incredible the density that we have of that toxicity within our lawns.
Interesting.
Yeah, and Roundup is probably the most common one, which contains glyphosate. And glyphosate has now been shown by a department of the World Health Organization to possibly be a human carcinogen. So again, going back to cancer, here's just another way in which we're in contact with something that promotes that. So we want to get away from those chemicals as much as possible, and so there are certainly alternatives to that. And even there's lawn companies. A lot of people don't mess with their own lawn these days, and so we've got lawn companies, but we've got to be very diligent about selecting them. There's a lot of quote unquote green companies that put more into their marketing of being green than their actual practice. So make sure that what they're using on that lawn is 100% all natural, non-toxic. Do put your effort into that. But we can do that ourselves. And by my own experience, some of these alternatives, they're not as effective, or at least immediately, as say Roundup. I had a weed, I remember last summer, and I sprayed something green stuff that I got from Home Depot on it and expected to come back the next day and see this, sickly weed like I would see if I used Roundup. And instead he was just staring at me like, that all you got?
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I yanked the sucker. So don't get disappointed with some of these alternatives. Give them a try. As a whole, you want to try and create as healthy a lawn as possible. And so really putting the effort into to test your soil, see what it needs. Take a look at habitats for certain insects and make sure you're doing something about them. In general, insects don't want to hang out with healthy lawns, and not as many weeds do as well. You see that in general, just as people take better care of their lawns, there's less weeds, but you might have to pull more. But there's some tremendous health benefits with that. Just getting your taking the time away to do things such as lawn work and gardening. And it can be very meditative, getting your bare feet in the soil and the negative ions that you get from the earth, and that connectivity, or what they call grounding, can be very beneficial. So
I was talking to a buddy of mine just this last week, and we were talking about, there's a point where you have to kind of figure out how much of your home can you care for, whether it's, do you want to clean the home yourself, or do you want to do the yard yourself, or do you want to do the pool yourself? And everybody in this discussion was agreeing that there's at least one of those things everybody retains, because they do get that connection, the connection to the home and the connection to the earth, and
Sure.
Getting out there and getting your hands dirty really
Sure.
does provide calmness, and
Yeah.
and promotes I think a little bit more internalized well-being.
Yeah, you want to find that balance, and if you haven't before participated in your own lawn care or gardening, that type of thing, try it. And if it's not for you, if it stresses you out, don't do it. Find somebody to do it, but then do your work to find, all right, what's the best option out there? Because really this all adds up. The toxins in our air, in our water, in our food, on our clothes, skin care. I mean, our shampoos, our deodorant, you name it. I mean, we're just inundated, and there's so many things that you can do to just make a different choice. And I can't tell you today that if you change your deodorant, you're going to live a year longer. But it only makes sense that less is more when it comes to toxicity.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And there's so many ways in which we can make a better choice, including taking a look at our environment within our home and filtering as much as we can. Let the filters do the work. It's not even something you need to deal with when you change those filters in your air conditioner. You've got this little guy going to town on the floor. All right, you made the decision to maybe do a little effort in researching, what unit to get and what have you, but then, you spend the money, you plug it in, and here we go. You're good.
Yeah.
So, we tend to be a little lazy, find things just like you might find people to do the work for you.
What about flame retardants? We were talking about how that really...
Yep, so another good point, and that's the last point probably for today. And that goes back to kind of off-gassing, but yeah, our furniture, our mattresses, electronics, they're found in all sorts of household goods. And it really starts with choosing that furniture or that mattress that doesn't contain that. Now, there's some things you can do, like you might have heard, if you just buy a new mattress, keep it outside for a week or two and let it off gas and not allow that in the house. Again, if you go back to the air filtration, well, you got that working for you. So that certainly helps. But if you can buy a mattress that instead is wool, that's a natural flame retardant. But there are others that are made of polyester, filled with cotton. Take a look at what your options are there. Same goes for couches and chairs and all that continue to off gas, over the years. You can take a look at mattresses that are 100% organic, cotton, flannel, Kevlar. There's a lot of different. I know Stearns and Foster makes one. There's a lot of options out there.
Wow.
And again, it's tough to get people to make these decisions to buy what might be more expensive or might be less toxic, I think, because we don't see it. It's kind of like the words that are coming out of our mouth here. We can hear them. They're coming, right?
Yeah.
There's a frequency, a vibration to it.
Yeah.
It's here. I mean, the toxins, they're here. But, we don't see them. We don't hear them. And
Or feel them.
don't feel them. And here we are. We're
Yeah.
healthy. We're doing this. And what's the problem? Well, there is a problem down the road. Every year, Americans are fatter and sicker than the year before. And this is just a part of that problem. Obviously, we've got almost a bigger problem here today. And another reason to go pick up that filter and
It is.
sanitize it properly. By the way, if you can't find hand sanitizer, 2/3 of isopropyl alcohol, preferably 91%, at least 70%. 1/3 aloe vera gel, and then pick your favorite essential oil, about 10 drops of whatever that might be. I use peppermint. Shake that up, and you're good to go. So
A friend of mine that actually had homemade hand sanitizer party over the weekend, where she had gone and gotten
Beautiful.
all of the ingredients and
Yeah.
had bought all these little bitty plastic things for them
Yeah.
to go in, and
Yeah.
it was an interesting event, and fun
I'm
to do.
sure there'll be more of those. Who knows? It's non-toxic, healthy living might become a little bit more at the forefront with what's going on.
That's
So.
true, very true. And you have a new gym opening.
I have a new gym opening, probably June. We've been working on it for quite a while. There's been setbacks. This is just another. City closed us down, and gyms like it a couple days ago. So we'll see what happens here. But yeah, there it is. We have the location. We have the sign. It's real. And it's a one of a kind. And going back to what we've talked to today, it really practices what we would preach in working with anybody. Do we have that water filter? Yes, we do. Do we have those air filters? Yes, we do. We'll try to be as non-toxic as possible. All the cleaning products that we use are non-toxic. All the soaps that you'll use are organic and non-toxic. And then as green as we can be. So equipment that doesn't take energy, but with some of it actually feeds back into our electrical grid and helps power the club. It's pretty unique. And there'll be other aspects. Since it's a brand new facility, brand new construction, I could be really intentional about every aspect of the design. So knowing how your environment affects you in so many ways, not just toxicity, but how it feels. You take people into various homes, and it just doesn't feel right for some reason or another. Some people feel like it might be a little too enclosed, chopped up, ceilings aren't high enough, whatever. So the same goes for designing a facility in which you want to promote people feeling good. Well, what is that in terms of shapes? What is it in terms of colors? What is it in terms of the music? Where can you go and feel like it's your getaway from it all? Which would be really nice to have right now, but unfortunately, we don't. But when we do, that's what I hope to create. So a lot of what I've put into practice in my own home, and then working with clients, here it is, front and center in every way I can show it off, and educate people as much as letting them run on the treadmill or whatever their desire is with exercise. And we also have a lot of services related to nutrition and stress management. It's really a holistic look and an individual approach to, well, how do we make your dreams come true? You come to me with a goals, this is how I want to live it. And Clear Vista means clear view. And ultimately what we're trying to do is give people a clear view as to how they live that dream.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming on with us
Yeah,
today.
you're
That was
welcome.
really interesting. And if you would like to reach out to Chris, he has a wealth of information. We've got his contact information up on the screen. Give him a phone call, send him an email. He's a super responsive guy, and just really enjoyed having him on today.
That was a really interesting show, and listening to Chris, I had an idea. I was like, man, I should design an actual electrical cardio machine that actually produces energy and puts it back into the gym. So, y'all, if this real estate thing doesn't pan out, you know what I'm going to be doing. That, or I'm going to make my own hand sanitizer. So,
Right.
We'll see.
We appreciate you tuning in with us today.
And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.